how you handle networking, I realized the value of good connections in business and life in general.
I think the biggest thing for me is just trying to stay in touch with people and find a way to help. So, as an example, I was invited earlier this year, no, I guess it was early last year to be part of Brendan Burchard's Puerto Rico gang. He basically invited us to his home in Puerto Rico to help, give feedback and support each other. And today we did our just like a follow up call. See how everybody was doing, check in. We spent 3 hours together on Zoom. And
Wow.
what I did was after the Puerto Rico a year ago, I made a note to try to stay in touch with everybody, to follow up, to see how they're doing, to ask them if they need help. So almost everybody in the group got a message from me at some point asking if they needed help usually with their channel, their YouTube channel. And today in the group, actually it doesn't matter who, one of the members said, Evan's help was so instrumental. We turned it into a 6-figure a month income just from
What?
advertising. Just from
Wow.
advertising. And a bunch of other people in the chat too said that I've helped them a lot over the past year, and like nod in their heads and say, yeah, listen, Evan. And I'm probably the most introverted person in the room,
Wow.
right? But I made a mental note because I know that I would never do it naturally, and I would never remember to follow up, and I'd always prioritize something else if I had to, or if I could. So I put it on my list that, hey, everybody in this group, I want to find a way to stay in touch with them. It's super easy most of the time. It's like, hey, just checking in. How you doing on your channel? And I reserve Friday afternoons in my calendar for my friends to help them with their channels. And, there's more that I now lined up after today that I'm going to be helping them with their channels for free, right? Just hopping on the calls, and that ends up building the network. So that's networking for introverts, 101. Zayn's gonna go up to somebody and say, "Hey, I'm Zayn. How you doing? Why are you here? What? Look at that! Look at that dope shirt you got on. Where's it from?" Right? Which is great. I love
I
it.
probably will let them sleep. If I'm sitting next to an airplane, they're not gonna get no sleep.
Yeah. So Zayn doesn't need a strategy. Zayn just needs to be in the room, and he'll just start talking to people, which is great. I need a strategy. I am not naturally good at it, so that's really helped me. And so I made a list of the top people in my circle who I want to bring value to and stay in touch with, because I know I'm not going to remember to do it. And then on Fridays I do it. And what that does is it brings you into other rooms. So we've talked about Eben Pagan a little bit, because Zayn loves Eben, and I got brought into I got brought into Eben's private mastermind, like him and his friends. Why? Because 2 of the people in the group recommended me. Why? Because Eben was asking for someone who could come in and help on YouTube, and I had already helped those 2 guys. Right? So like that's the process. That's the process. You start helping them, you start bringing a lot of value, they bring you into other meetings, other rooms, but you have to keep in touch, and you have to find ways to continue to provide value and see how you can help them. And not just saying, hey, how you doing? You need help with anything, but trying to be more specific. At least that's really helped me over the years.
You brushed over that so quickly, man. Can you go back? You help this guy. They making 6 figures a month now because you helped them with their YouTube. That's crazy.
That's just one guy. Yeah, no, you can make money on YouTube, guys. Come on, what are we doing here? For sure. I mean, I remember I told this guy before. Here's the story that he told today, right? It's like, hey, Evan's been hounding me for a bunch of years to do this, and I finally listened. I finally hired the team, and now here we are. It was kind of because I was pushing to say, hey, everybody here needs to be on YouTube. Everybody here, if you're in this group, you have to be making content. The world needs to hear your message. And so he was just he jumped in. It wasn't even his turn. He just jumped in on my turn to say, hey, what Evan's saying is super accurate. You guys, you got to get in on it. Whether it's, I don't even have a service that you can, they got to hire Drew. I don't have a service. I just want to help. Okay.
He says, I'll be moving abroad from Denmark the upcoming summer. How would you go about networking practically from scratch?
So, moving abroad from Denmark, but didn't say where.
Yeah, he didn't say where, but it's from Denmark. Yeah, where are you moving to this summer, Dane? He also said that's solid advice. Thanks. That's a good idea about the list too. Sounds like a good. Sounds like I got a similar. I got similar problems not remembering to keep in touch.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dane, where are you moving to this summer from Denmark? Let us know.
Anyway, I mean, wherever it is, you start looking at who is from there, right? Like if you're moving to Vegas, then you want to hang around Zayn.
Look up Zayn the Man.
Look up Zayn the Man.
I got you.
Right? So you start looking up the different, like you go to Instagram, you go online, you look at who's making content, who is from the areas that you want to start networking in, and then you start hanging around there. Like, how did I get to all these people? Because I started smaller, you know? I started helping everybody. And then one person, there's two things that happen, okay? You start helping people at the start. Two things happen. One is they refer you to other people. I get referred in because I help their friends, and their friends may not be big people, but their friends start referring them in because you did such a great job. And two, they grow.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that you start with, come on, like you get a chance to talk to Zayn the Man now. Imagine in 5 years, it's going to be impossible to get a hold of him. He's going to be in high demand, right?
Hope so.
Right? Like I want to get in at the early stages of that, you know? Like I knew Zayn from the get, you know? Like that helps. So some of the people that I help, you know, for people who, I do this a lot on podcasts when I'm on somebody's show and I really like them. I might be their first person on the show. Like I might be guest number 1 for them. And if I really like them, I'll ask them, hey, what episode number is this for you? And they say, episode 1. Okay, great. Number 100, I want to come back. I want to come back for 100. So, you know, when you get close, when you get to 90 or 85 or whatever, message my assistant again and we'll book you in for number 100. And it shows the belief and confidence in them, and also gives them something to strive for. It's like, oh, snap. Okay, now I got to get serious about this and make sure I hit my 100 episodes. So that's my networking strategy.
He's moving to Brazil for some time. Then he's going to come to the U.S.
Yeah, so look at the markets you're going to. I mean, you just pick 2 giant countries, right? So look at the places you're going to, the cities, and start finding people and start bringing value to them.
Yeah, aren't there apps out there that can that's already made that you can connect to meet people that's in that particular field or career or area?
Oh, there might be.
I mean, you could always download Tinder.
Yeah.
I think you want to do that.
But you have to bring value. You have to bring value, right? Like, if I get hit up all the time with people saying, "Hey, I'm coming to Toronto. Do you want to? It'd be great to grab a coffee together," right? It's like that's probably not happening because I have no idea who you are. But if Zayn the Man said, "Hey, I'm coming to Toronto. I'm going to try to put it in my schedule and make it happen," right? So that's the difference. Just messaging people saying, "Hey, I'm coming to your city. Do you want to hang out?" You're probably not going to get a big response rate. But being a part of the community, learning to bring them value, makes it a priority for them to meet you when you do get there. So that's your homework, you know, before going there, is to figure out how can you bring value to these people.